ready? You recording? Okay.
Yeah, 17.
Second.
I'm good.
You got 20 against you.
Oh, really?
You had 20. We had 17. You had 20.
But you don't know what the names were.
No. But I'm assuming all 17 were
Okay.
the same 17.
Okay, Mayor.
We're ready to go? Okay. We call the order of the Lowell City Council regular meeting for Tuesday, November 17th at 7:14. Roll call, please.
Mayor Bennett,
Here.
Counselor Harris. Here. Counselor Stratus.
Present.
Counselor Drott. Here. Counselor Myers.
Here.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have the agenda as listed. Any comments, changes, needs by anybody? Okay, not hearing any. Next thing up is the consent agenda. It's on page 4. The consent agenda includes City Council regular meeting minutes of October 20th, 2020. City Council executive session, work session minutes for November 3rd, 2020. Financial report for September 2020 and cash register for October 2020. An item can be held out for later use in the as new business. If anybody sees anything they want to hold out, anybody want to take anything out? Not hearing. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Not hearing any. Hold on. Next up is the public comments. Understand, Mrs. Miller, that we have at least one speaker.
Yes, we have one speaker tonight. Mayor.
Okay. They need to announce themselves, their address, and 3 minutes to talk, if you would. Go ahead.
Excellent. Thank you, Council. My name is Robert Killen. I'm the Director of the Lane Small Business Development Center, headquartered at LCC, serving all of Lane County. My address is actually in Coburg. I can get that to you if you'd like. If that's
Sure.
okay, it is, it's actually P.O. Box 8527, Coburg, Oregon, 97408.
Thank you.
So tonight, I'm going to ask you to help me solve a problem. This is a perpetual problem that's been repeated by business owners across the country for decades, which is this, that when my business needs help, I can't find it. And unfortunately, because we're all defined by the stories that stick, this is the story that defines the entire business resource ecosystem, which frankly is a slap in the face to me. But here's another truth. There is no roadblock a business might face that doesn't have someone whose job it is to get them through it. In the big picture, we don't suffer a lack of resources. We suffer a lack of belief in those resources. We can fix that, and here's how. At the SBDC, we've built a very simple searchable database called Lane Business Link. It is built to house all of the public and nonprofit entities that provide direct services to businesses in Lane County. And while it does exceedingly well as a client-facing tool, the greater value is on the agency side. Imagine a business calls up the city and asks about help with government contracting. If nobody at the city in the office happens to know of a resource to refer them to, what's going to happen? Probably nothing. And the business is left believing that help doesn't exist. But with Lane Business Link, a quick search would identify agencies that help with that and contact information to connect them. And as resource partners use the tool to help businesses, we will collectively increase our understanding of and confidence in the enormous array of supports that are available to businesses throughout our region. Ultimately, the tool both facilitates and proves a news story, which is this: when your business needs help, we'll help you get it. Council, tonight I have two simple asks of you, and they involve no amount of money and no resources. The first ask is to be a Lane Business Link partner, which means that you have a page on the site. So when somebody's looking for Lowell specific resources, they can find it. That you use the tool, that it's on the desktop, so when people call staff, they have a tool that they can use. And that collectively, or as a city, you embrace this new story, that when a business needs help, we're there to help them get it. That's what it means to be a Lane Business Link partner. The second ask is more direct, and I would like, and that is a statement of support from the city, either from the mayor, from the council, from the city manager, a statement of support that I can share in our partner summit, which is coming up on December 10th, and you are all welcome to attend that, and to help propagate this news story across all of Lane County. Ultimately, with the support of you, the City of Lowell, and other Lane Business Resource Partners, we can change this story from one of scarcity and doubt, which has been perpetuated for decades, to one of abundance and commitment, establishing a world-class resource ecosystem and changing business for the better right here in Lowell. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for Robert?
How do we get more information on this?
So I have sent and will send more information to Marcia about the Partner Summit coming up and more about Lane Business Link. If that's the best way to do it, I can, I'll forward that information and then she can forward it on to you.
That would be great.
That'd be great, and maybe put it in our next work session or something so we can discuss it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well,
Sounds good.
thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you for your time.
Council comments. How about staff report? City Administrator, Ms. Miller.
Sorry, Don, we were talking.
Sorry.
Oh.
You're up.
City
You're up.
Administrator report.
I'm up, okay, so, what? It's been a long day.
Page 74.
Thank you, it's been a long day.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Bennett, members
No,
of the
that's
council.
fine. I thought I'd missed something. I'm sorry.
The city administrator's report, the first item is the coronavirus update, and but this report was put together on November 13th. So this information is already out of date, but as of November 13th, there have been a total of 3,057 cases reported in Lane County. There were at that point 17 hospitalizations and 34 deaths. I just heard today that we actually have several people who are now in ICU units. I think I heard 3 or 4 in our county. And as you know, even from this date, the governor has now since put the 2-week freeze. So things have changed pretty dramatically. The thing that I found interesting about tracking these the Lane County cases is when you look at that chart, you can see that the largest number of cases are actually between 11 and 30 in terms of numbers. Now, I realize that most of those are probably those are lucky enough to be asymptomatic or have very mild symptoms, but that is kind of the bulk of the COVID cases. We continue to have weekly calls with the county, and they are, continuing to want us to help them get the public health message out about, of course, wearing a mask, social distancing, washing hands frequently, and we'll see what happens with this 2-week freeze at the end of that, if it gets extended or if we see some results. We have closed City Hall offices to the public based on that governor order. We will be there via phone, be available to people, but we will not be available in person. The next item is the TGM Land Development Code update. We are continuing to make progress. I think as of today, we have tentatively scheduled our first code committee meeting for December.
Yep.
No, I think it's the 14th,
okay.
4 o'clock. We have all of our members of that committee, which are the Johnny Matthews, from the school district, Lon, our fire chief and also planning commission chair, Jimmy Martini, and John Bennett, of course, our mayor, and then also Jason Krenevo, am I saying his name wrong?
Bravo, yeah.
Krenevo
Good.
has agreed to be on that committee also. That happened since this was written too. So that is moving along with developing those code requirements for the downtown, the implementation of the downtown plan,
You said that was the 14th,
the 14th,
that's a Monday, is that?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's 4 to 5:30, I believe. So we'll be giving you another report in December on, what comes out of that meeting. The Special Public Works Fund loan, as reported at the last council meeting, we got our final approval for the Special Public Works Fund award from Business Oregon. It's in the final step of funding process, and it's actually in your council packet tonight for your decision to move that forward. And then the last item is the League of Oregon Cities is offering this elected essentials workshops in December. These are free virtual trainings, and they just wanted to make sure that we made you all aware. If you haven't attended them, or if you need a refresher or would like a refresher, they would love to have people attend. So that's the end of the city administrator report.
Next up is, the police report, I believe.
Yes, and are there any questions or?
78, you have it there. I see some activities, that's good. Next up is non-exclusive towing agreement.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Bennett, members of the council. We discussed this at your last work session. The city currently doesn't have any contractual agreements with towing companies for abandoned vehicles or unsafe or nuisance vehicles. We reviewed it at your November 3rd work session. It applies to towing companies to conduct business within the city, and the purpose is to clarify the expectations between the city and the towing companies, and to provide the resource needed to address vehicles that require towing. The only cost to the city is the background checks, unless we need to tow RVs, and then we would incur some costs for that. But for regular towing, we would. So if you have any questions, it's the contract is in your packet.
I see vehicles are towed at owner's expense, and as Max explained before, we go through a long working relationship with the violator, code enforcement, whatever we want to call it, that before we actually tow them. So it's not a surprise, and so they know that they're responsible for it. So the city is not going to be responsible for anything on the compensation. Contract agrees to deal with the public, so it keeps us out of it, and it seems like it.
Yeah, Max has a comment.
So I'll
Yeah.
add one thing to that. The only exception to the notice, the 72-hour notice and the door knock would be, like Marcia stated, so hazardous vehicles obviously is a immediate tow. Anything that the county tags outside of stuff we ask them is they only tag hazardous vehicles, unsafe vehicles, or vehicles that are obviously abandoned. We've had several of those in my working career since I've been here. So one that is abandoned, there's no owner to find to. We still go through the tagging process with those rigs, but not near as in depth as in, having to run the plate, knocking on the door where it's closed to try to find the owner. So there could be an instance where it's a, hey, let's get this towed. It's an issue. It needs to be done right now. Blocking a bus route, blocking a safe view around a corner for a street. But typically, you're right. It's going to be full awareness with the person that's happening to. So yeah, no surprises there at all.
So if abandoned abandoned auto is towed, is the city charged for anything on that?
No.
So they
So,
just take the metal, the car, and they scrap it out or whatever?
Yeah,
And they
once we
take the
have a
money out of
vehicle
that?
towed, it's in,
Okay.
it's in the tow company's hands, so they do is fix, so if there is reimbursement justified, they're the ones that actually pursue that. So
Okay.
either they'll find the person or they'll recycle the vehicle, destroy it, or sell the vehicle.
Okay.
Yep, so only expense would be hazardous tows, something out of the ordinary, or an RV.
This is a contract that we have set up together, but we haven't gone out to any agencies to, ask for them to,
We have,
oh,
so
we
this is a
have?
process that we started right before the storm, actually, the snowstorm. So we reached out to Dow Towing out of Oak Ridge, which
Uh-huh.
is who Oak Ridge contracts with, and then Puddle Jumper, which is right here at the connection of I-5. Both of them showed interest, and both of them agreed that they would like to enter into a
Okay,
mutual agreement. Yeah.
So we have some people that's
We
interested.
do,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, very good.
I forgot to mention too that we set up the agreement, the previous agreement was, I think, only for a year, but we set this up for 2 years.
Sounds good. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the use of the non-exclusive towing agreement as written.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the use of a non-exclusive towing agreement as written. We have further discussion? Not seeing or hearing any? All those in favor of motion to approve the use of the non-exclusive towing agreement as written, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Not hearing any? Okay, find my next place. Okay, we talked about this in the, planning or the work session. I asked, Marcia to let me stick this thing in here this way, because I felt that this is pretty much a consensus of where we were. And, the ones that's highlighted in red, if it's not, what it would be tonight would be a first reading. If this is not where we want to go, then, we will, lack of motion, we'll go on to the next one, but if this is the direction we want to go, then we can make a motion for first reading. First reading membership. The planning commission shall consist of 5 members and meet the following criteria, which is no. 4 members shall reside within the city of Lowell. 1 member may reside within the rural Lowell Fire Protection District. That was the change. No 2 members, meaning more than that, no 2 members shall be engaged principally in buying, selling, developing real estate for profit as individuals, or be members of any partnership or office of employees of any corporation that is engaged principally in buying, selling, or developing of real estate for profit. Main idea there is that you have 2 people that completely, they have no interest in any of those items, that they could be on the board. We're looking for extra members for our planning commission, and this would be able to get them on there so that these people, even though they may be 2 old retired people, 2 nurses, 2 teachers, 2 anything else, as long as they're not in the business of buying, selling, trading, or partners in the buying, selling, trading of houses, we can let them be on the board. Does this seem like where we ended up, or we should have gotten to in the
So,
planning,
yeah.
our
Did you write
study
this?
session? I kind of cut and paste. I did a fine
Cut
job.
and paste?
Yeah, I deleted a few words and changed a few of the words, so stuff like that. But is this consistent with the council?
Yes.
Okay, if it is, then we're gonna need a motion for a first reading, and we're gonna do it by title only, since we've spent all day doing this. The next one, we will make a motion for a second reading in total, and that'll be done at our next meeting. I get a motion for by title only.
I make a motion for the first reading by title
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for ordinance 302. Okay, City of Lowell, Oregon. Ordinance 302, an ordinance amending Lowell Revised Code Section 2.3.623. Okay, okay. I make a motion then in that case that we have a second reading at our next council meeting. We have, okay, we have a second. All those in favor of a second reading, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Opposed? None? Okay. We'll make that short. So something's gonna be a hard one. Okay, next up is resolution 755, authorizing a loan with the Business Oregon. Mrs. Miller, please.
Yes, thank you. Mayor Bennett, members of the council. As you know, the City of Lowell applied for funding through the Oregon Infrastructure Finance Authority of the Business Development Department in June 2020. The funding was to support the Main Street Lakeview reconstruction project. The estimated cost was $468,450, with $200,000 coming from Oregon Department of Transportation grants. In October, the city received notification of the final approval from the Special Public Works Fund. The amount is $268,450 at a rate of 2.19% per annum. Resolution 755 authorizes the loan and authorizes the mayor or city administrator to execute the contract and any required documents required by the funding agency, by the financing agency. And in your packet is the resolution that was prepared by Business Oregon, and also the contract and the opinion of legal counsel, which they required as part of their financing agreement. Are there any questions about this, or?
What's our annual payment on that? Do we know off the top of your head? You don't have to look it up. It seems like it's about $1,000 a month. Is that, does we have $240,000 in 24 months, or is that 10,000 a month?
I don't have that off the top of my head. I apologize, but I can, get that for you.
Yeah, it'd be 200, that'd be a 240 payments,
Mhm.
and, for like $240,000, so we're paying $1,000 a month to have those two roads over time paid for. I think that's a pretty good deal. Let me get back to the right page. Okay, we're looking at resolution 755. We have a motion on page 104.
I make a motion to approve resolution 755 as written.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for resolution 755, authorizing a loan with Business Oregon. Do we have any further discussion or questions? Not hearing. Hey, Chief. Not hearing any. All those in favor of a motion to approve resolution 755 as written, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
756. Okay, next up is
Yeah.
756. Hold on.
No, next one is the change order,
Yeah.
number 5.
What's it again?
Change order.
Change order number 5 on Main Street.
Page 127, Don.
Page what?
127.
127, okay. Aha,
Okay.
This was from,
okay, we have a change order. Change order number 5 for downtown paving and utility improvements project. Mrs. Miller, please.
Thank you, Mayor Bennett, members of the council. This was also discussed at your November 3rd, 2020 work session. Change order number 5 covered additional repair work that was required for some manhole repair and repair of the storm drainage line and additional asphalt and aggregate materials.
Okay.
And there's a copy of the change order in your packet from Wildish, and also just a picture of, and some plans.
Is this the last change order that we know of from those people? Okay.
No, well, didn't they,
This way, Matt.
didn't we say that there was gonna be at the very end?
So. we've already
Change,
gone-
there will be an addition at the end for actual materials used versus estimated materials is
Yes,
to
Quantity.
be expected.
quantities,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Correct.
So no, this is not the last.
Can we offset that with rent from Rolling Rock Park for them to park all their stuff over there? Okay,
Thought about it.
okay. Yeah, we discussed and saw this and it looked like it's completely desirable what we had them do. Okay. Do we have a motion for the change order?
I'll make a motion to approve change order number 5 from Wildest Construction for $6,995.65.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve change order number 5 from Waldis Construction for $69.95.65. Do we have any further discussion? Questions? If not, all those in favor of motion to approve change order number 5 from Waldis Construction for $6,995.65, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Not hearing any. Okay, now it's 140 something.
No, it's resolution 756.
There we go. Wait a minute. Okay. Resolution 756, extending the utility assistance program. Ms. Miller, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Bennett, members of council. Back in June, the city council adopted resolution 746 that established a utility assistance program. And the program was designed to provide the 25% reduction in base water and sewer fees for customers having a household income of less than 60% of the statewide median income. Public hearing was held on June 23rd. This was established as a pilot program and is scheduled to end on December 31st. The item is being brought to council to consider continuing the program for another period of time. We've only had a few participants take advantage of the program to date, although for those folks, it's very important. The financial impact at the time that the pilot was established was estimated to be a little under $4,000, but the fiscal impact to date has only been under $500. So this is brought for your consideration to extend it for another 6 months
Okay, another 6 months. Okay.
That'd be through July.
through June 30. Yeah, through June 30,
July.
2021. Yeah, till July. Yeah. Basically through the budget year.
It's a good thing.
Good spot to end
Yeah.
on the paperwork.
We have a motion?
Motion to approve resolution 756 as written.
All second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution 756 as written. Further discussion or questions? Good program, but we have it. All those in favor of motion to approve resolution 756 as written, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Not hearing any.
Could we put a notice out in the bridge, letting
Yes.
maybe try to get more visibility on
Sure.
awareness of this, if you
Yeah,
can take
that's a
advantage of
great
it,
idea.
especially during
Especially because
Christmas
it's
time.
winter.
That's a great idea, and actually that, I think I need to do one by next week, so perfect time.
We run along.
That's all I have. That's all I have.
Come on now, we got lots of things.
That's it, Don. You're done.
That's all I
Any
have.
other, any other business? Chief, you have anything you want to say?
Please.
Okay, well, we're proud you're here. And mayor has nothing to say.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Good man.
Don't close the meeting.
so no,
Don't close the meeting.
okay. Okay, we are down to city administrator. Would you like to announce something?
Well, just something that Max reminded me of. Just to let you know, for your information, we had our first pay request from Wilders that's been, and we're expecting a second one, so we're just letting you know
Okay.
as we're closing out that project.
else by anybody? Seeing no nods, we're adjourned. 10:43.
Yay.
Oh.
Good
All
job,
right.
everybody.
Dawn.
you.
Don, good job.
Yeah,
We rolled, didn't we?
long day.
Chief, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I'm Gail Harris.
I meant to ask you guys, did you like my questions?
Yeah. I've probably seen you. The Blackberry.
Yeah, I recognize eyeballs.
Actually, I guess this Blackberry jam, we didn't see anybody.
Yeah, we didn't have.
This is a bad Blackberry jam.
Hey, Marcia, do you need any of this stuff?
I need all of it, actually.
Yeah, she needs it all.
What do you mean by all?
You want
Every
all
single
the
thing?
resumes too?